Hi guys. So I've been to the hairdressers and yeah, feeling so much better. So I got my hair cut, I got highlights. So yeah, it's just a bit, I feel totally refreshed and autumn ready. So we've done the activity, the exercise, getting the mental, physical balance going on. Now I've got the hair done, I'm feeling ready. And so much so that, I did a video about my silver shoes that I got recently. And I said, oh, I'm going to do pictures on Instagram. And then I went into my summer slump, so I didn't. So here's silver shoes. So yeah, and not to worry about the so far because I haven't actually worn these shoes out, so it's absolutely fine. But yeah, so these are the famous silver shoes. I'm going to take some photos because I think that'd be much easier to show you. But yeah, excited, all in silver, hair bouncing around. And this is all down to the 21-day challenge. If I hadn't have done the challenge, I wouldn't have been ready to this degree. I wouldn't have felt like everything was coming together. I would have just felt like I was getting my hair done. Whereas actually it felt like, kind of like, yes, we're back out here. So it's a really great kind of process to go through. And if you watch my video from yesterday about anxiety, about all of this, exactly as I thought, what I said is exactly what happened to me. So I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit nerve-wracking. I went there, had a lovely chat with everyone, got my hair done. It was a lot of fun actually. It was a bit of a day out for me. And then, so if you're wondering what happened to the cardio, so I actually walked home from the hairdressers. So I thought, you know what? That's my cardio for the day. I've put a lot of effort in the last 3 weeks and I thought I'd give my body a rest. But I did do a 25-minute walk, so it was still there. So hot in London today, hand fan. It's quite incredible. Considering it's September as well, so it's quite nice though. And so yeah, I totally recommend this. Doing this challenge for yourself and getting back on top. Now I've got all my fitness classes, they're all up online. I've got my lifestyle workshops coming up soon and I'm ready for them. I'm ready to go. I'm confident. I want to do it now. I've got the silver shoes. I'm ready to go. But if you have been doing 21-day challenge, and so as I was saying, I did do a walk today. It wasn't as long as usual, but if you're doing a 21-day challenge, now it's about looking at how you incorporate that activity into your life now as you move forward into September and things get busy and it gets more challenging. So that was why it's really important that we've been making notes about what our goals are, what we want to achieve, and the benefits that we're seeing gradually over those weeks. If you didn't make it for the 21 days, don't worry, but don't give up either. So literally my thing is, don't go back to day one. If you've already done a week, for example, or even a couple of days, pick up from there. Don't go back to one. Don't demoralize yourself. Don't make it harder than it need be. There needs to be a sense of achievement. And I think that, you getting back on top of that activity again, because you've, remind yourself of your original goals. What drove you to choose to do a challenge like that? What are the things that you want to change in your life that you feel that activity would bring you closer to doing? And, it can be all sorts of things. My opinion is when I work on my mental health, that's when everything else falls into place. For example, so working on my mental health for me very much is about exercise and getting out and not putting myself in really, really challenging environments all the time, but actually going out and, moving around and at least, enjoying my own company and introducing other people in, so it's great for that kind of thing. But what, for me, when I work hard on the mental health, because I do it through things that require physical activity, it means that actually, you know, they really do balance out, and you know, you don't just build mental strength, but you build physical strength at the same time. And I think that's really important, especially if you're someone who's got a mental illness or you've got a condition where you're vulnerable. And you know, there are people out there who, you know, I mean, it's not, I mean, personally, my problem is, you know, I don't control people's thoughts. So I don't really care what they think about me having PTSD, or, you know, in that sense. That's not, I don't try to second guess what they're thinking. You know, it's just unfortunate at the moment that that's what I've got. And I work really hard, and I've got so far with like resolving so much stuff. So it's really, again, if you're an anxiety disorder person, you know, keep on your activity. It is really helpful. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know what they're thinking, but sometimes people actually shout stuff and say stuff to you. And, you know, these things happen. And I think that if you're building yourself up to be in a mental and physically and mentally strong place, then you're in a much better position to just be like, whatever, than if you feel vulnerable, because then that kind of, you know, that can kind of play into your vulnerabilities. So I do think it is really important, you know, to have this kind of activity, something that makes you feel confident, strong, and, you know, that's what I think anyway. No, but you know, it's a healthy thing to do as well. You know, we haven't been locked away, you know, or, you know, all personally, you know, it's all been about being around people and going for walks and stuff. So anyway, so exciting times. And yeah, I'm still going to be joining you on the All Silver Clouds channel this month. And I'm going to be talking about various different things. So I'm looking forward to talking about some lifestyle stuff, looking very much at feng shui at the moment, really getting into it. Not so much that I've thrown you know, loads of stuff away, but I'm certainly unblocking those passageways to let the energy through. So I love all that kind of, you know, philosophy, like Chinese philosophies around energy, and you know, the way that we honor our homes, because it's, you know, like, you know, the kitchen, the oven is the hearth, it's the heart of the home. The front door, the doorway is the thing that, you know, it's the place where you're invited into the environment. So it's important to, you know, have that clutter free. And then the bedroom, I mean, there's so much to talk about and so much to learn. I'm also going to be talking about All Silver Clouds method. So I think that's really important, because we've actually got a really different method to everybody else that I see, you know, and I'm like, wow, because, you know, there's various different, you know, there's decluttering organizers that, you know, are quite well known, that people think, oh yeah, I know that one. Or there's various methods that, you know, quite a lot of people have heard of. And I'm just looking through and I'm like, nobody's using what we're using. They're using all these different psychological kind of ways of looking at things, but they're not using some of the basic things that we're very aware of at All Silver Clouds, which comes back to you. And so I'm not going to say too much more now. I'm just, you know, I'm going to be talking about it more. But it's quite exciting. So yeah, I'm also going to be talking about you know, decluttering in the seasons, because we're obviously into a new season. So you know, especially when it comes to our clothes, bringing forward those slightly warm, well, I say that, not after today in London. It was all like t-shirts and stuff today in London, but you know, thinking about bringing forward that winter wardrobe, some of the autumnal things that we wear. So I will be talking about this as the month goes on. I'll also be talking about exercise as usual. I will probably be giving some updates on my PTSD journey, because I'm hopefully progressing forward with a new therapy. So I think it's really important that, you know, I've told you guys about my journey. If you've watched about, you know, some of those videos, But the journey doesn't stop with your diagnosis. It's all about your rehabilitation, you know, how you ground the experience and move forward, you know, seeking some kind of well, I think you want to bring some meaning to the journey, and you know, not in the sense that you attribute meaning to that journey, what it is or what it's been, but more so that you get to a point where, you know, you just feel a lot more calm with yourself, and you're able to not be so, you know, the triggers have gone down and or resolve, you know, you resolve them. You know, the experience of trauma will never go away, and you will always have memories. I mean, I was in a position where I was taking, or I mean, I still do, but all the time. I haven't done it once in this video. So that's the thing. I think it's really important for me to talk about my progression. I don't want anyone to think that, you know, it's like, oh, I've got the diagnosis, that's the end of that then. I still do have it, but so much further than I was. And that's the trajectory. So it's really exciting. Just trying to think what else. Oh, I'm going to be doing a few commentaries as well. Really love doing that. So there's some shows that I can't wait to show you some clips from. So I will be looking a bit at decluttering and organizing, I have to confess. And that's because there's some really amazing shows that I've watched, even when I was in the arts, as a, you know, curating exhibitions, all the various things I did in arts. I still used to love watching shows about cleaning, organizing, decluttering, hoarding, you know. So I look forward to showing you some of my influences, and yeah, we'll see where that takes us. All right then, guys, I will see you soon. Bye.